Oh, how it feels good to win. What's up, fans? So obviously after yesterday's game, there's going to be the one and only question, and that's what this video is about. Essentially, who should start for the Dolphins? If Ryan Tannehill's healthy, should Ryan Tannehill start for the Dolphins? Or if Brock Osweiler, should we keep him in after that hot game against the Bears? So that's what this video is going to be all about. I'm going to break down who should start for the Dolphins. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to break down Brock Osweiler's stats that got him the contract to go to the Houston Texans, because he got that contract because he was with Adam Gase. Adam Gase was his offense coordinator, boosted him up, and that's how he got to go to the Houston Texans and got an absolutely ridiculous contract that he never lived up to. So he started 8 games because Peyton Manning got hurt. He started the 8 games, went 5-3. It's not a bad record. He threw 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. It's not a bad ratio. Threw for about 1,967 yards. He averaged about 7.2 yards a pass, and his average QB rating was about 86.4. There were some games where he broke 100. There was 2 games he broke 100 in those 8 games. Other than that, it was very mediocre quarterback rating. Now, we also have to look at the Denver Broncos at that time. They had a really, really good defense. So he was playing with a really, really good defense. So you look at those numbers, and those are very basic numbers. Those aren't numbers that are going to win you Super Bowls. Those aren't numbers like Patrick Mahomes, who's lighting it up right now. Those aren't even numbers of like Aaron Rodgers when he first started. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers wasn't the Aaron Rodgers we know now, but he was still really good. So then you think about the average numbers of Ryan Tannehill. Now, Ryan Tannehill, he has decent numbers. Is he an all-star? Is he going to get you the Super Bowl? Is he going to win you playoff games? Is he going to win you regular season games? Yeah, of course. He won us regular season games. He has hands down won us some games. Look at the Rams game in 2016. Look at the San Diego Chargers game that we won. Obviously, Kiko Alonso was the reason we won that with his pick 6, but Tannehill took some big shots in the pocket and still made the passes. So if you look at the two and you start to compare positives and negatives, I really feel like Brock Osweiler is a giant quarterback with pocket presence, right? And then you got Ryan Tannehill, who everyone loves to say is a wide receiver. When we lost to the Bengals, everyone was like, we got a wide receiver at quarterback that we're paying all this money, and it's blah, 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 blah. I get it, but you gotta understand he was a quarterback that was converted to wide receiver that was converted back to a quarterback. So he's not a wide receiver playing quarterback. He, in college, was a quarterback playing wide receiver. But anyway, they're both here, right? But then you look at the intangibles. Look at the intangibles. Brock Osweiler is 6'7", 240 pounds. He's 27, so he's about 3-4 years younger than Ryan Tannehill. He's a gunslinger. So with Brock Osweiler, he's gonna just chuck it and pray and hope to God his receivers come down with it. And if not, you're gonna get interceptions. So you're gonna have games with Brock Osweiler where you're gonna have him throw for 350 yards and 3 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And we might win that game if the defense can stop him on those 2 interceptions, or we might lose that game if the defense is having a bad day. So with Brock Osweiler, he's going to chuck it down the field, he's going to make crazy throws, and you got to hope and pray that it works out. With Ryan Tannehill, he's more conservative, and he doesn't want to be the reason we lose the game. So he's going to make these conservative throws, these conservative dink and dunks, but he does make very accurate and very nice throws. But if it's not there, he's not going to force it. And I made a video, I think, after the Raiders game that I said when Tannehill drops back and he looks down the field and I know he's going to chuck it deep, I have just a feeling that it's going to be caught. It's going to be a big pass play, and it's just going to get us some yards because he's not going to throw it if it's not there. So you as a fan need to think about, well, which quarterback would you prefer? Would you prefer the quarterback who's going to take the risk and it's a 50-50 if it's going to be an interception and your drive's over and that could be the winning drive? Or are you going to go with Tannehill? He'll do a check down for 5 yards and keep the drive going to potentially go into a game-winning field goal or touchdown. So those are the intangibles you got to think about. Also, Ryan Tannehill has the running aspect. Brock Osweiler ran one yesterday, and he dove forward because there was a linebacker right there. I think it was 59. Again, I don't know his name. Jermatham? Whatever. It's 59. And it looked like it was going to be about a 2-yard run, but he like ducked down and dove forward, and he's a big dude. So he got like an extra 5 yards off of that, which he could do, but that's it. Like, he's just gonna, like, if it's a QB sneak or if you need like 2 yards, he could bull like a corner or a safety over and get those yards. Whereas Ryan Tannehill, if we're doing a read option, the defense needs to really pay attention to Ryan Tannehill because he could break off a 25-yard run. He's got the speed. So those are the intangibles you need to think about with these two quarterbacks. Like, Brock Osweiler played a great game, but Brock Osweiler always does play a great game, and then all of a sudden he shits the bed. And if he shits the bed, all of a sudden you guys are going to be saying, we want Ryan Tannehill back, you know, this and that. But then also, if Ryan Tannehill has one bad game or he makes one bad throw or anything like that happens, all of a sudden everyone's going to be chanting for Brock Osweiler to come back in. My opinion, who I think is going to start for the Lions, if Tannehill's healthy, he's going to start for the Lions. There's this play here is the reason why Tannehill didn't play yesterday. And a lot of people like to say Tannehill didn't play yesterday because he was afraid of Khalil Mack and the team was afraid that he'd get injured against Khalil Mack. But no, the last fumble, the scoop and score with the Bengals is the reason he hurt his shoulder. So he hurt his shoulder in the Raiders game. It was aggravated in the Bengals game. It was sore throughout the week. And then right before the game, he was like, if you need me to make a 20, 30-yard throw or a 15-yard out, or if I have to throw across the field, I don't think I could do it with the way my shoulder is. And that's the reason he didn't play. And that's the reason why it came down to a game time decision, because they were like, throw, let's see what you can do. You can't do it, Brock, you're up. And Brock wasn't expecting to start because he was wearing black shorts and a black t-shirt. Like, he wasn't expected to go in there, but he went in there and he did his thing. So you got your two quarterbacks. You got a mobile quarterback who's conservative and, you know, will not take a chance but also keep the drive going potentially. And you have a tall, strong quarterback who is a gunslinger and will throw it down the field but then potentially end your drive. You got these two, right? Who would I pick? I'm going with Ryan Tannehill. Not because of my allegiance to him, which I don't have one, or not to, because after this whole thing I got something I want to say. Not for that, but just for the simple fact that him and Gase have been together longer. Him and Gase know each other. He knows what to do, when to do it, and he also has the speed. That speed advantage gives me the little bit of an edge over Osweiler. I would have chose Osweiler. I do like the gunslinger mentality, but it also scares me, because it could very easily change a game. Look at the Bears game when that was just a dumb throw. He threw it too late, and when he threw it, the corner was already there, and Gesicki stopped the pick six, but then it didn't matter anyway because we scored a touchdown. So I would pick Tannehill going forward if he's healthy. If he's not healthy, we're going Osweiler against the Lions. But for the future, Tannehill's due like $26 million next year. None of that is guaranteed. We got to get a quarterback. You see that game yesterday that Adam Gase, if he has his quarterback, if Adam Gase had Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Gase had Tom Brady, if Aaron Gase had Drew Brees, Phillip Rivers, if Adam Gase had Sam Darnold, if Adam Gase had Patrick Mahomes, if any other quarterback, but not Blake Bortles but like if he had Kirk Cousins, if he had Case Keenum, I feel like this team would be scoring like 30 points a game because it's the quarterback he wants and he has the trust in his arm and everything in his decision making. We need a quarterback, and after this season, I don't think Ryan Tannehill will be with the team because $26 million for him is too much, and we could use that money to bolster up the offensive line, the defensive line, get a second corner. I'm going to talk about that in a second too. So Tannehill's starting on Sunday against the Lions if he's healthy, and going into the next year, I don't see Ryan Tannehill being on the team. I think we will go draft a quarterback and potentially sign a free agent. If not, Tannehill needs to take a huge pay cut, and then we'll see what happens there. But that's what I think when it comes to the Tannehill versus Brock Osweiler discussion. So comment below. Obviously, I'm going to have you guys either saying I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about. We should start Brock Osweiler because he's a better pocket presence than Ryan Tannehill, which or you're going to say, yeah, I agree, Tannehill, this, and that. But comment below. Let me know what you guys think about my decision to start Ryan Tannehill if he's healthy, if he's not healthy. Obviously, Brock Osweiler. Speaking of comments, I'm going to Twitter for this one. Guys, you guys been following me on Twitter. Makes me very happy. I tweet out things. I also follow now the Pro Football PPF Dolphins, so they tweet out Dolphin stats that I retweet. So follow me on Twitter for those retweets. I also retweet this stat guy that I follow, who also retweets. You know, just follow me on Twitter. But let's get to the question. Okay? This one comes from Sammy89, and he says, do you think the Dolphins should trade for Amari Cooper? If so, how much would you give up for him? Remember, he is from Miami. Sammy, it's funny that you bring up trading, because also Patrick Peterson supposedly is on the trade block with the Cardinals, and if we could get Patrick Peterson, right? He's older. He's like 28 years old. Yeah, 28 years old. If we can get Patrick Peterson for a 28-year-old corner, I'd probably give him like a third and a fourth. If we can get Patrick Peterson for a third and a fourth, and then put him with Xavier Howard, this defense would be ridiculous. You know, we wouldn't have to worry about McTyer. Sometimes Bobby McCain does bad, but you also have to think about they gave Bobby McCain a big contract, so maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But when it comes to Amari Cooper, I could see that being an addition. You know, get rid of Parker, picking up Amari Cooper, putting him in a new place. What would I give up for Amari Cooper? Well, he hasn't done anything in the past 2 years. Next year he's due $13 million. So they'd have to restructure his contract, and that also plays a big factor into what you trade for him, because that's the reason why we got a fourth for Jarvis Landry, is because we tagged him, so he was worth a lot of money. So with Amari Cooper, I'd probably, again, do a third and a fourth for Amari Cooper, but then I'd restructure his contract so that next year he doesn't hit us for so much, but make it fair. So I would trade for Amari Cooper. That's actually a very good question. That's why I picked it. I would trade for Amari Cooper, and I'd get rid of Devontae Parker, because Devontae Parker can't stay healthy and he just doesn't fight for the ball. Whereas Amari Cooper, hopefully he's good though, because he took a big hit yesterday, and I don't know what's going on with him mentally. But also the 5th-year option is available for Amari Cooper. So yeah, I'd trade for Amari Cooper. I definitely would. But like I said before, follow me on Twitter. Also, follow my second channel, The Bit Boys. We're playing a ton of new games. We're going to be playing the new Mario Party 2. If you guys have any suggestions, we're going to start playing Madden again, I promise you. But if you guys have any suggestions for games you'd like me to play, go over there, comment on it while you're subscribing. See what I did there? Hit a thumbs up on this video, because, man, I told you guys not to give up on this season. I told you guys, like, what, 3 videos ago? Don't give up on the season. Season's not over. A lot of injured players are coming back. So give a thumbs up for the season just getting better. This is a very resilient team. I've said that thousands of times. Wake is coming back. McCain's coming back. Derby, like, Brendel, they're all coming back. So don't give up on the season. So give a thumbs up for that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Right? I'm a huge Dolphins fan. I got the hoodie on right now. But I'm also a huge football fan. So subscribe if you're not subscribed already. We do picks every Wednesday. Then on Friday or Saturday, I review the Dolphins game. Dolphins-Lions game will be coming out probably Friday or Saturday. And then we do the recap after the game. Win, lose, I'm here. Win, lose, I'm here. No matter what. So be sure to subscribe. A lot of you guys, just to throw this last one in there, because a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about the Fantasy League. So I started a Fantasy League, if you're new to the channel, back before the season started. So I started a Fantasy League. So I'm going to just give you guys a quick update on what's going on with the Fantasy League. So if you look here, let me slide over, so I'll put it right here. If you look here, this is League 1. And our division leaders are What in the Tannehill, MT Promises, MT Promises, that's a good name, and Should Have Been Brace. Why? Why'd you name it that? I'm in second place in the second division. Gluefinger is in second place in the first division. So if the season ended today, I think I would be in the playoffs in this division. Not 100% on that, because I noticed that me and Dustin's Dolphins have the same record. So it depended on who won the head-to-head. And then if you look at division, the second league, I'm doing much better in the second league. The division leaders are Cutler did 6-10. He's 5-0. But why you gotta have a name like that, my dude? I'm 4-1 in this league. Not too shabby. And Marino's my daddy is also 4-1. So we're the division leaders, and if the season ended today, Fins Fan 17 and Street King would be in the playoffs with us. So there's a little update on the fantasy league going on. Some guys are fighting. I know some guys are forgetting to set their roster or just not, and they gave up, but it is what it is. Other than that, I will see you guys on Wednesday with my father with our picks. And other than that, stay classy and Fins up. What's up, Fin fans? We did it. We did it. Oh my God, we did it. I wrote down a ton of things for this game, so we have a good amount to talk about. And then I got one of you guys questions from Twitter, because you guys blew up my Twitter, especially when the game started happening.